Welcome to Whispers of the Web, where the hidden gems of the web come to life. Join us as we unravel the most fascinating tales, secrets, and discussions from across the web. Every whisper has a story. If you enjoy our journey through the whispers of the web, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the intrigue. Story number 1. I lied about being colorblind to everybody I know. 21. Lied about being colorblind. It began in elementary, where I told all my friends and began hinting towards my parents. I began doing extensive research on certain types of colorblindness and their commonness. I chose the most common type, a red-green colorblind type. I learned exactly how they saw and began to even be able to picture what each shade would look like in colorblind vision. As I grew old enough to realize these lies weren't exactly okay, I had already had everyone around my finger. I was too deep into this lie. Soon after, I was gifted colorblind glasses by family. As the years went by, I found an amazing boyfriend who I've been with for 3 years now, and we're planning to marry soon. He and his family believes I am colorblind. Everyone in my life believes I am colorblind. I cannot tell a single soul. Nobody knows. Story number 2. I called my mom ugly, and it's my biggest regret to this day. I can't remember how old I was, but probably between 5 and 8 years old. My mom was on sick leave because she had been burnt out. It was me, my older sister, and my mom at home. We were all watching TV, kinda crammed up in our small couch. My mom was lying on her side and me and my sister were sitting next to each other. I looked at my mom and asked her if she wasn't wearing makeup. She said no, and I regretfully remember that I thought I was being funny when I replied with, "You look so ugly." I also remember with horror that my mom started crying. She wasn't mad, she didn't say anything, she just cried silently. I looked at my sister, and she kind of shook her head at me as if saying, "No, you can't say that." This is the worst memory of my life. I hate myself every time it comes to mind. I wish I could erase this from my memory. Context. When I was a kid, I was very shy and sometimes didn't speak to people at all. I kind of struggled around people and just how to fit in and act normal. I was a good kid, but I had a lot of anxiety at a very early age and was also very sensitive. I would say or do things that I picked up from my peers because I thought that was normal or even cool. Then I would get in trouble and people were disappointed in me and I would feel really bad. Why could I never get things right? Is there something wrong with me? I just struggled a lot with how to be a human. I don't know if my lacking in behavior skills had anything to do with why I called my mom ugly. But no matter the reason, I hope I can forgive myself one day. It is my deepest regret and a dark memory that I have never shared with anyone. Story number 3. My husband said something unforgivable to our son. I found out that my husband has said something to our son that I consider to be unforgivable. We have a 7-year-old son. He's played football the last few years and he's shown some talent. For the last few months, my son has devoted most of his spare time to practicing and playing. At first I didn't think anything of this because I thought he was having fun, but now knowing what I know, I feel like a terrible mom. My son had not been feeling well for a few days. He had a match, and he said he was better even though it was clear he was not. He fought with me to go, but I held firm. He ended up in tears. My son does not cry easily, and I couldn't for the life of me understanding what was going on. My son told me he had to go play so his dad will love him. I told him his dad and I love him no matter what. My son said his dad said that if my son, didn't play well at football, my husband and my son's father, would not love him. My son was inconsolable, and I thought it must be misunderstanding. When I talked to my husband, I was in shock because my husband did tell me he remembered saying it. He admitted it. I was shocked and angry when my husband told me he said it, and I was screaming at him to know why. When it happened, I had been at work and my son had spent the day with my sister, my brother-in-law, and their children. My husband told my son this after they dropped him home. They were talking about football and my son said he didn't want to play so much, and that was when my husband told him. My husband told me he'd been round at the pub and he was drunk, even though he remembers saying it. He never told me about it, and he didn't try to correct it with my son. He said he wants to keep my son motivated. My son turns 8 years old this year, and my husband said that next year, when he turns 9 years old, my husband wants to enroll him in a football academy because he'll be legally old enough. I was so angry I had to leave the room. I asked my son why he didn't tell me what his dad said. I tried not to sound accusing. My son said his dad told him if he didn't play football he would disappoint his mom. My son says he wants to play football with his friends, but he doesn't want to play all the time like he is now and doesn't want to go to an academy. I've done everything I can to tell my son that what his dad said was wrong. I have reiterated that I love him and will not be disappointed if he doesn't play football. I am so angry at my husband. I can't stay with him after what he did to our son. I know I've been a terrible mom not to notice what was going on sooner. I don't have anywhere else to put this, so I'm putting it here. I always thought my husband was a good father, but it's clear I missed something. My husband continues to insist our son will go to an academy next year. My husband has not apologized or tried to talk to our son about what he said to our son. I am getting things in order to leave. I have an appointment with a solicitor. I think what my husband did was unforgivable no matter what he does now. I have nowhere else to put this or get it out, so I'm putting it here. I know I have to be a better mom. I should have known what was going on. I know I risk getting torn apart here, but I had to get it out. Story number 4. Found out that my husband sleeps with his ex-wife from time to time to prevent her from dating. I just want to lie down in a fetal position and cry. We have been married for 2 years, 2 happy years, until I stumbled upon an email from her that said that she didn't want to do this anymore because she wanted to find love and meet other men. He answered her that he loved her more than anything, even more than the children, they have 3, and that he would give her all the schmecks she wanted. Then he went on about how it was safer for her not to let strangers into her home. She said that she was done. He asked her to marry him. She told him that she didn't want him back as a husband. He said he loved her. Now I know why he refuses to have shared custody with her, and would rather pay $4,500 in child support instead, so she doesn't have time to date. I am so heartbroken. I feel like trash. Why is he doing this? Story number 5. My boyfriend proposed, and now I don't want to marry him anymore. I know this might seem stupid and ungrateful, but honestly, I am too upset to even care. 2 days ago my boyfriend proposed to me at a McDonald's nearby our house. He got on his knees in the middle of us eating and asked if I wanted to marry him with a silver ring. Some people were looking at me with happy faces and others with looks of pity and disgust. That is how I felt in that moment. I didn't say anything. I literally just sobbed and nodded my head because I didn't want to embarrass him. The reason I am mad over his way of proposal was because 1. We don't talk about him proposing every day, but we probably talk about it twice a month, with him usually bringing it up. I told him I wanted my mom, dad, and my sister to be there if it was possible, and for it to be in a romantic setting. 2. I hate silver jewelry. I am a gold girl and he knows it. I told him I would never want a silver ring, and if he does buy me any jewelry it's gold. I feel like if you're asking someone to spend their life with you, then it should be more thought out and planned. I don't think this is the type of person I want to marry, but I don't know. I've been trying to convince myself since yesterday that maybe I hyped up the proposal in my head too much so that whatever he did would not have topped it off. I think anything but that would have been better. Update. I didn't expect this to get as much comments as it did. I wanted to answer some things in comments people have put. Why I wanted a gold ring. I wanted a gold banded ring because I only own gold jewelry. I never said it had to be expensive. I literally would have been happy with a simple ring with a gold band. I was more mad at the fact he knows how much I love gold, and has bought gold jewelry for me before. We make jokes about how much I hate silver jewelry. How old are you guys? I'm 28 and he is 32. Do you not love him anymore? I love him the same amount still. We've been together for 7 years, and I don't think you can ever stop loving someone that quick. If you loved him, then you would accept any proposal. Well, what if someone purposefully asks you what you want your proposal to be like, and then they don't make it anything near it? I wouldn't be mad if he did it at the park, the diner where we usually go out to eat with our family, etc. I wanted the place to have more meaning and to be more romantic. Also, for the people who think romantic equals fancy, you guys are dead wrong. No, To the people wondering if I ever said something about it, I did. We had a long conversation, and he said that he'd rather just get it done quick than pushing our whole lives to do it. It obviously hurt my feelings that he'd want to get something done quick that has to do with him asking me to be in his life forever. He apologized and then said he'd propose in a different way. I didn't really know what to say because it felt like I was asking him to propose instead of him wanting to do it. We are not broken up, but we are also not engaged. We are in a weird place right now because I feel like a proposal is a big thing, and he messed it up trying to rush it. Another thing is that he is literally my dream man. He takes me out to dinner every Friday, buys me things without me having to ask, and takes me out on trips spontaneously. This whole thing just threw me off all the way, which is where a lot of this anger and sadness is coming from. I didn't want this post to seem like I hated him, so I'm sorry if you thought that. Story number 6. My girlfriend proposed to me. Yesterday, when I came home from work, my girlfriend made my favorite food for dinner. After eating dinner, my girlfriend and I went to watch TV, and she said she wanted to talk. I asked what she wanted to talk about, and she asked if I really loved her, and I said yes. She then asked me if I wanted to dance with her, and I said sure. We danced to the song The Words, and when we danced for about 2 minutes, she got on one knee and asked me to marry her. I did not expect this at all because I'm a guy, and never in a million years would I have thought my girlfriend would be the one to propose, but she did. I said yes. I do feel bad for not asking her first, but I'm going to buy her a ring as well. I had to get this love off my chest. Thank you for joining us for today's journey through the whispers of the web. Share your thoughts and suggestions for our next adventure. If you're not yet a part of our whispering community, click the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications to never miss out on another story. Join us next time as we uncover another enthralling tale from the web. Until our next whisper.